Betsy Ellis.
My name's Ike Sheldon.
Nate Gunn.
And you're watching Amped Up TV.
Wilders!
Hi, this is Chris from Amped Up TV. We're here with the Wilders at the Winnipeg Folk Festival. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and what you play in the band?
Sure.
I got cookies. My name's Cookie. I'm Nate Garn. Nice to meet you. Go.
Plays the bass.
He plays the bass. My name's Ike Sheldon. I sing and thrash on the guitar and enjoy myself.
Hi, I'm Betsy Ellis. I play the fiddle.
And I'm Phil Wade. I play mandolin, banjo, and dobro. And such.
So, there's a fifth member that you're not introducing right now.
That's right.
Yeah. What's up, dude?
I'm the Phantom Drummer.
So, why don't you tell us a bit about this Phantom Drummer?
Well, he doesn't really want us to, he doesn't like to toot his own horn, but I will say
He doesn't get paid.
He's one of our he's the best member of the He's one of the best members of the band because he never farts and he doesn't take any money. So he's great. He is the person. He's the person that makes it sound like people sometimes hear us and when all of us play together, it makes a kind of a beat. It's we play our instruments pretty hard, and maybe just the style that we do it. It's like it kind of creates this fifth kind of percussive kind of element that really fills up the sound. And just something that we just kind of stumbled into.
Yeah, and a big accent on the 2 and the 4 for sure. It's like definitely.
It's not paranormal per se.
Well, and I don't know if they'd ever called it this before, but what's made it stick was one time we were playing in Louisiana and played a really fun show in Lafayette and we played and stayed at the same place. It was kind of a hostel where they had an awesome outdoor bar and stage, and the next day we saw this guy who had been at the show, and he introduced himself to Ike, and he's like a truck driver, and telling us about how he had called his son and was raving about the show. And he's like, yeah, they had a guy singing, they had a guy playing bass, and a guy playing like the steel guitar, fiddle, and everything, and I think they had a drummer. I'm pretty sure. And then he's like, so yeah, well, I want to meet your drummer. Where's your drummer? And Ike's like, we don't have a drummer. And he's like, no, I swear, you're in a drum. And we're like, you're right, because there's a lot of beating on the strings. And yeah, they have those little mini beers down there. That might have had something to do with his memory loss. I don't know. But yeah, so that really made that stick for us. And we've always recognized that we use a lot of rhythm in what we do. And you hear the sound of the strings and the wood and the hands hitting it. And the depending on where you're at in the crowd too, you're maybe going to hear more of it. So that Phantom Drummer, kind of sneaky Pete, but he shows up sometimes.
Perfect. Well, I was glad I had a quick interview with him. Got him on camera, but
yeah, it would have been nice.
He's like a vampire. He doesn't photograph.
So the Wilders, the name. Does the name make the band, or does the band make the name?
Ooh, the band made the name.
It's like Laura Ingalls.
The name made the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there you go. It is like Laura Ingalls, only a little wilder, because when we first gave ourselves that name, we weren't all that wild. Like we didn't, we were a little bit mild, I guess. But as the band developed, which has been over a lot of years, it's like this is 11 years right here, and so we've gotten a little bit crazier with our performance style over the years, and the name made the band. Yeah, it is that way. So I think that's kind of how we try to live up to it.
So
this band goes to 11 years.
Years, that is.
Nice.
So speaking of the sound, for people who might not have heard you before, what's the best way to describe your sound on stage?
Describe the sound.
Shit rock.
Oh. Try Phil.
Describe our sound.
Well, it's I mean it's rooted in it's rooted in country music, American country music, and old time fiddle tunes. But it's really transformed over the last several years. About 4 years ago, we started doing original material. We started out just doing a few tunes, and then we've really progressed into pretty much we can do all originals all the time if we want to. We still like to pepper our performances with some classic stuff and maybe some stuff that people haven't heard. We like to be sort of the champions of playing a lot of that kind of pepped up country music from the 50s that people just probably never, that people might have heard it in the day, but it's not the classic stuff necessarily.
Yeah.
We still kind of do that stuff, but it's just kind of become this. It has a kind of a rock edge to it. It has a kind of a punk edge to it. It has kind of a old-time string band edge to it. It's got kind of a classic,
pretty much a mix of everything.
Whiny country, sad kind of edge to it. It's a kind of a multi-headed thing now, and it's developing all the time. We're doing stuff that doesn't sound anything like what we were doing a year ago, and it just kind of keeps blowing my mind.
So, your performances, when you're performing live on stage, you really get the crowd going and stuff like that. Is that, like, that doesn't seem to be, well, I guess you just described that your genre is kind of a mixed genre, but it's not something normally you see with the type of music. Is it just your energy that you think it's bringing out the crowd, or?
Well, I mean, it's always, we've always thought of it as like, it's a circular thing, and but even before we were doing originals, I always thought of us as a little bit of a variety show. So we're gonna switch up the styles every few songs, and we, like Ike has said before when we talk about it, that we put it out there. We put out a tremendous amount of energy, and if the audience is getting it, if they get us, then they start giving it back, then it just builds from there. And we certainly have had that experience here at this festival. I mean, people were really getting it right from the beginning, and I mean, if people are dancing, you're doing something right. And I think, I think it helps to have a variety. I mean, we used to do stuff where we would really play hard and fast for a lot of songs, and then finally take a break, and that can be really cool. But I like when we have the ebb and flow, because that just helps everybody. I mean, it's good to have a full range, I think. So, and I think we finally embraced the word Americana. I don't know about you guys, but we play American music, and that includes a ton of different sounds.
Yeah, I agree. So, how has the festival been treating you so far? This is your first time here?
Man. I know.
We're in Manitoba.
We're in Manitoba, our first time, and right from the very beginning, I mean, we felt really welcome. Our first set was in the hotel bar. We were playing the late night jam session with Del Barber on Friday night, and that was like that. And he's a local, awesome. And great singer and great songwriter, and just so right from the beginning, we were like, okay, let's just sit down and play for a while and trade songs, and that's how we got started, at the festival. So, good way to get going, and it's continued from there. Yeah.
So, do you have what's your future plans with the band? Do you maybe have another addition you want to add, another ghost?
We're thinking of running for office.
I think Phantom Chorus.
We're getting a horn section.
I think politics is probably our next move.
Politics,
Yeah, I'm thinking so. I'm thinking we can ride the crest of our new album into a Senate seat, probably.
A Senate seat, so you're looking
to
be
if we fail there, we're gonna expatriate to Canada, and we're gonna run for office in Manitoba.
We're gonna run for office everywhere until we get
until someone accepts you.
I'm gonna run away with the circus. I don't know what these guys are doing. I'm going to the circus after this.
Our plan, you never really know. I mean, anybody who's in a band, it's like, who knows? I mean, we just keep playing and having a good time, and as long as it's fun and we get a kick out of doing it, keep doing it.
Yeah, usually the plan is get in the FF van.
FF van?
Fiesta van?
Oh, no,
Ford Fiesta.
Ford Fiesta.
Get in the van and roll. That's the plan.
So, for people who are interested in finding out more about you, getting your albums, listening to some of your tracks, where can they do that?
wilderscountry.com, baby. Yeah, I mean, I love it now. You can just say, well, just Google us. So if you Google Wilders, you're probably going to get us. And, you know, there's some cool YouTube stuff out there, too. We did a really cool thing in Scotland. Well, we go to Scotland a couple times a year. And last year we played a festival called Celtic Connections in Glasgow. And the BBC films one show a week. They have a special show, and we were on that last year. And some of the most amazing footage, it's like, that is, I mean, it was super cool. It was like being in a movie. They had a crane camera going, woo, so you can see the effects of that camera if you want to look us up. But you can also visit wilderscountry.com. Come to where the country is.
Well, thanks guys for taking the time to do the interview. And best of luck on the rest of your tour.
Thanks.
This is Chris from Mapped Up TV. Just reminding you, we're on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere, YouTube, just /Mapped Up TV, you'll find us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Tear it to the spice!
Ow! Ow!
Yeehaw.